Hello and welcome back to Richard's Random Reviews, and today we've got a bit of a bargain. I've been looking at these kerosene paraffin heaters for quite a while, and I found one on Marketplace. It was brand new and it was about an hour or so away, so like a couple of hours to go pick it up. And I'm going to show you what I got for my money, and I'm going to tell you how much I paid for it at the end. So I'm just going to pause recording, and then I'm going to take stuff out the boxes, and I'm going to show you what I got, and then I'll tell you how much I got it for and how I'm going to use it. So here is everything I got. Let me start with the actual main unit. This is the paraffin heater. It's brand new. It's a lot bigger than I thought. I've been looking at some online and I didn't realize how big they were. And I think it's going to give out a really good bit of heat. Now, I'm all for saving money and things like that. Over the past few years, I've tried different types of heating. Heating the home at the minute is the biggest rip-off ever. And I've been looking for another way to get some extra heat into the house. I've currently got a gas fire, but these bottles are like heading towards £40 now for just the 7 kilogram one. And I do use it. I have the heating on, and then once I've got the place warm, I'll put this on to keep the heat in. But I've been looking at these to sort of do the same thing, really, have the heating on, and then once the place is warm, put this on, keep the heat in. Now, with these new type paraffin heaters, there is very little smell. You do have to have good ventilation, and I've got a carbon monoxide alarm, so I've got things like that. You do need to be safe with them, but they're built for indoor use, and I've seen some good reviews of them online, so I thought I'd get one. So everything I got today: the main unit, the wick needs putting in because it's not been set up yet, and that thing up there, it's all cockeyed at the minute, but you just unscrew things from what I've seen. There's the full instructions on how to set it up. We'll get to those in a minute. It comes in this carry case, storage carry case. It's quite a nice case, that. It's got a handle to go on the top. It's got a siphon for you to siphon the fuel into it out of the containers. So whether I'll use that. It comes with a funnel, but we'll get to that in a minute. Gloves, funnel to fill it. There's so much stuff in here. There's a spare knob, if that one ever breaks, I presume. Spare knob for that. There's, I think that's just, yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wicks with it. 6 wicks. So I don't know how long a wick lasts. I did used to have a paraffin heater years ago, but I don't know how long a wick lasts, but there's 6. If a wick lasts 6 months, there's 6 of them. So, and also the lady I bought it off, she had 4 full of these 4-litre bottles of premium paraffin that are for domestic use, and they've got low sulfur content, clean burning. So I don't know how long they're going to last. I'm not going to be having it on 24/7. I might not even use it every day. It might be just for really cold days. I've got a building outside which has no proper heating, so it might get used in there. There's good ventilation. So yeah, 4 of those, they're going to last a while. Now, I've looked at the price of these and they're like £12 each. So 24, 48 pounds worth. £48 worth of fuel there. Online, some places are charging like £15 for 4 litres, but the cheapest I've seen it is £12 near enough. So there's like £48 worth of fuel. The heater, 6 wicks, gloves, the funnel, the siphon, the carry case. It's brand new. How much do you think I paid? Okay, how much do you think I paid? I paid £80 for the lot. Now, I've been looking at these online and they've been like 80, 90, £100 just for the unit, and probably for like 1 wick with it and the siphon and the thing like that. There hasn't been 6 wicks with the ones that I've looked at, and there has definitely not been any fuel with it. So I've literally got free fuel and extra wicks. So I'm really pleased. Right, it's now the next evening. I was going to do a review of it and sort of maybe film me putting the wick in and setting it up, but I took all this top off and it already had a wick in it, so I didn't need to put a wick in. It came with all those spare wicks, which I didn't need to put one in. So what I did do is I put in about 3/4 of one of the 4-litre bottles, and it went just under half. It's not used much. I think I had it burning for about an hour last night, and I've had it going tonight for about 2 hours. It's throwing out quite a good bit of heat. I've gone and put one of these stove fans on the top, and that is throwing heat forward, and it really does radiate heat well. Like, my hand is really hot there in front of it. I'm a few feet away and I can feel it, and the room is really warm. I had the heating on for like 20 minutes when I came in just to put some heat in the house, and I've had this going since. Now, I like this in my conservatory, which is really well ventilated, and if there's a bit of smoke when I first light it, it doesn't really matter so much. So I do like the design. It's quite a nice design. I carry it quite easily. It's not too heavy. Teething problems with it. This dome, I'm struggling to get that evenly red. As you can see, there's some dark parts, and over that side there's a dark part. I'm struggling to get that evenly red. Now, in the book it says wick not at the right height. This catalyst thing not the right adjustment, things like that. So it's just a matter of trial and error with it. Now, I've noticed with this knob here, if you turn it too much at once, it literally goes out or it flares up. So I'll just adjust it now, just like half a turn that way, not even half a turn. You see, that is gonna make it cool down. Then I'll bring it back. But if you turn it up too much, you get like flames burning through, and it's too much for it. So the heat from it is amazing, and I think it's really going to make a difference this winter if I sort of get confident in using it. I think it's going to make an amazing difference to keeping the house warm. I can't smell fumes as such, but I think there is like paint and stuff burning off from the machine. You know, all this metal needs to warm through, and there's bound to be, factory paint that burns off in some shape or form. I do like it. Yeah, it's I think it's going to be a good addition to keep control of like heating bills. Still a couple of dark parts on there, but I'm going to read through the manual and look at some more YouTube videos and see what other people have said about the element on the top. I think they call it a barbed wire, that top dome thing. So that's it. Yeah, it's up and running. I didn't need to put the wick in it. It was already in. And I've got all them spare wicks. So yeah, would I recommend getting one of these? Yeah, but they're not as straightforward as you'd think. You don't just light it and then it's up and running. I think there's a bit of playing about to get it to run perfectly. But as I'm sat here, my face is really warm and I'm like a couple of feet away now. You can really feel the heat. Like I said, it is warmer than that fire, the gas fire behind on the low setting. But it really does radiate the heat well from it. So yeah, I'm impressed. I shall persevere with it. I've got all the paraffin that came with it, and yeah, cheap heating. Hello. It is actually a week later through the magic of video, and it's Sunday the 8th of December. I bought this a week ago, and I'm just going to do like a review. So I've used it for a full week. I've used it pretty much every day. I've just lit it again, literally a minute ago. And I'm going to share my thoughts of a week of using it. So I really like it actually, yeah. It's not as good on fuel as I thought, but that's probably me maybe not having it open as much. But I'm going to tell you how much fuel I put in and how long it's lasted. I've been keeping a note of things all week, and I'm going to tell you what I've used this week. So it came with 4 tubs of fuel, and I had a bit in a tub, and there's 4 litres per tub. I am right with that, yeah. So there's 4 litres per tub, and I've used 1 tub and a bit from another tub from Sunday to Thursday evening. It got really low, and see there's a blue flame there. I'm just going to turn that down a bit more. So it got really low on Thursday evening, so I started a new tub. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 5 days, 1 tub and a bit it used, and that's £12. But saying that, I've only had the heating on, the central heating, for like half an hour, 40 minutes, something like that, of an evening. And then I put this on. This radiates so much heat. I'm sat here now and I'm a couple of feet away from it, and it's radiating heat already. Now, I bought this fan for the top of the gas fire. So I've got that on the top as well. And that does radiate the heat forward as well, but it does it itself. All this with it being all metal, it just really does radiate heat well. So last Sunday, I started with the fuel, and then altogether from the 4 litres, and it wasn't quite a third from the other. It definitely wasn't a half, and I don't know if it was even quite a third of another tub altogether. Burned for 16.5 hours. So I don't know if that sounds pretty good to me. So yeah, I'm just going to turn that down a little bit more, because I've had the heating on a bit this evening, and I've put this back on. It's not too cold tonight. It's not warm outside, but it's not too cold. So I'm now on the second 4 litre tub, and I've had half of it in. Now, one thing I have noticed about this, the fuel gauge. I've just checked how much is in it, and it is not nearly empty. It feels not quite half full, but there's a good third in there. It's nowhere near empty. So this fuel gauge does not show accurately. Maybe somebody will know what to do about that. So I've run it it's been on empty, and I probably had another 4 hours out of it one evening when it said it was empty. I probably had 4 hours out of it, so that is not working properly. Tips for it: when you first light it, before I light it, I've got an old toothbrush, and I just give the wick a brush round, and it seems to light and settle down much quicker than if you didn't. It gets all the burnt carbon off the wick. So I just go around with an old toothbrush, and the wick lights better and it burns quicker. Also, when you first lit it, if it isn't burning right, I just give this a shake and it seems to even it out. So yeah, I can't think I've had, there's a little bit of a smell when you first light it because it burns up and then you turn it down. There's a little bit of a smell when you first light it and when you put it out. I'm a lot more confident than I was a week ago with it when I first bought it. So for £80, I've noticed on my smart meter, electric meter, gas meter, that I've saved about £1, £1.50 a day. So I could say probably £10, but I've used £12 worth of fuel or so. But for saying that, to have the heating on, the amount of time that I've had this on, I have been really cozy and toasty this week with this on. It just warms the whole room up, like the heating is on pretty high. Where if I had the heating on to that temperature for as long, it would cost a lot more. So it may not sound it's cost effective, but I think it's good. I've used the gas fire a couple of times when I've not wanted it. If I've just wanted it on an hour, I thought I'm not going to bother having this on to put it out again. So I've just had the gas fire on. So would I buy another? Definitely, yeah. I'm glad I bought it. I've still got 2 full containers of the fuel that came with it, and then another half-ish in a bottle ready to go in when this starts to go. Like I said, at the minute it is at nearly empty, but it isn't. I gave it a little shake before I lit it, and you can hear it sloshing about quite high. So I'm going to look at that. I'm going to change the wick that came with it. Wasn't even, and it's not burned even all the time I've had it. So it came with like 6 other wicks. So I'm gonna take it apart, give it a bit of a clean, and put a new wick in. I know it's like a waste of a wick, but it wasn't in level. Or I might just take it apart and see if I can level the wick up or something. But I've got all them on the spare one, so I might just start fresh. So that's it, my week review. It really warms the room up. It's not too bad on the fuel, as long as you don't have it opened up too much. I don't think you want to be seeing any flaming in there. You just want to be, this needs to be red, but you shouldn't have any flames and definitely not any smoke. The carbon monoxide alarm has not gone off or warned me or anything. So I have had some ventilation there. I've got a little window on the stairs there and it's open ajar. So I've had some ventilation and I've not felt like there's been any problems. So that is my week's review of this kerosene paraffin gas heater stove. Yeah, I got 16.5 hours burn time out of 1 4-litre tub and a little bit more in there as well, which if you split that over evenings and daytimes, it gives you an idea of how long you can have it on. But like I said, it really does radiate and warm the room up. So that's my review. I might film the video. I'm going to take it apart and check the wick or put a new wick in. I'm probably going to do that video next. I'm going to do it after I've used what oil is in here, what paraffin is in here, kerosene paraffin. After this tank is empty, I'm going to check the wick or put a new wick in and just give things a bit of a clean up and see how we go from there. So I'll probably do a video of taking it apart and putting the wick in. But these are readily available on eBay, Amazon, all over. And I've seen them coming down now to about 70 something pound, which is quite a good price. So I would recommend getting one if you've got like a man cave, or you just want it in the house to save on heating bills like I've done. They're really good. So that's all for this episode. I shall say bye for now. Bye.